if you currently send your funding clients over to an outsourcing company, this is a huge mistake. I'll walk you through why this is keeping you small, it's keeping you broke, and you're actually a hidden employee to the other business. So why outsourcing funding isn't a real business. So when you went into business and you had this whole dream here of creating wealth, freedom, and abundance for your family, well, did you ever imagine the fact that now your entire results, your entire income are dependent on someone else? That's why I get so confused as to why people really dive into this outsourcing opportunity, because right now, if you bring on some clients, right, maybe you collect the upfront fee, right, but the majority of your fee is going to be dependent on now someone else. So if this other company, for example, shuts down because the owner gets in an accident or shuts down because they no longer want to run this business, well, your entire income just stopped. Right? Or if their results, for whatever reason, start to not work out so much anymore, your income just stopped, right? And all the different clients that you're bringing on and you're creating relationships with and you're trying to expand your brand into, well, now all of these clients have a bad experience, and this all goes back to you. So are you really a business owner if your income is dependent on someone else, if your client experience is dependent on someone else? The next question right here is, do you want to double your income? I have a lot of clients that come in that instantly see a drastic change in how much money they make because now they're not giving away 50% of their profits. I mean, imagine you're creating products like Apple and you're trying to lower your costs as much as possible, but at any time, you know that you have a 50% cap of your overall income potential, right? I mean, that's what most people are expecting if they're outsourcing their funding. You are basically guaranteeing that you're going to make 50% less income if you bring on a new client, right? Because in a lot of cases, you might collect an upfront fee or not, but the funding company, they'll be taking 50% and you take 50%. So let's say, for example, that each client on average represents $8,000. Well, you're never going to make more than $4,000. Right? So instead, if you were to collect the entire 8,000, let's say you get 5 clients a month here, right? Well, now before you're making 20K, hoping that the outsourcing company actually gets good results and allows you to collect on the success fee. Well, if you still get the same 5 people, but you actually do the funding in-house, you're making $40,000 now, right? You instantly double your income just by bringing it in-house. So now if you're able to collect this kind of money, now you can invest this back into your ads, back into your team, back into whatever you want to actually do in life, right? So this is how you can instantly double your income just by bringing it in-house. But the truth of the matter is, the reason you have not actually done this just yet is because you're scared, right? This is a simple truth. You're scared because you don't think you can get good results. You don't think you get good results. You don't think that you can actually manage all these clients, manage clients. You don't think that you'll have the bandwidth, or you're scared of all the work. That's really the 3 main reasons why someone would not start the outsourcing process, right? But there's a simple solution to any single problem in business. If you've gotten to this point already of having consistent leads and sending them out to an outsourcing company, you probably figured out some kind of a marketing channel, whether that be affiliating with other programs or creating a good word of mouth or trying to launch your ads, launch your marketing, right? You have figured out certain elements of your business. And every single problem that we run into, that's our job as a business owner, to solve this problem and move on to the next one. So right now, there is a solution to each one of these, right? And the fact that you're giving away 50% of your income and basically staying as the employee of this other business is the fact that they figured these out. Okay, so what do we really need to bring this in-house? It's not rocket science, right? For good results, we just need data points. We just need consistent data points that we know are working right now, and we need them to be updated, right? The fact is that if you got funding for yourself 2 years ago, those strategies do not work anymore. And even if you got your client results 3-4 months ago, those data points, unfortunately, do change. So what's the benefit of these outsourcing companies is the fact that they have networks of people that are applying for funding. A lot of people that I talk to, a lot of these outsourcing companies probably work with us right now. They just have the right networks, right? They're actually putting their clients through funding. They're testing things out, okay? So that's all they're doing right now is just connected to the right people and the right data points. If you can check that off, that's all you need. We basically just have to have a source. All they're doing, again, it's not rocket science, is that they just have a database with Bank of America, for example, telling them exactly what to put on the application and how to apply, right? They don't have crazy banker contacts. They don't have like these special links, right? In some cases, they need those. But once you get it one time, you got it. And all you need at this point then, once you have the applications, is just ideally an updated source. As to why you might work with someone like us, in which we get all this data, we organize it for you, and all you have to do is just click on the Chase tab, for example, and just follow the instructions. So we just need to knock out the data points part. Managing clients. You're worried about organization and staying on top of your clients and making sure that we don't miss anyone, right? We just need a system. The beautiful thing about a system is that once you get it, now you're done, right? A lot of people think that they can push it off to a later point because that's going to be a good to have once I have enough clients. But then you go deeper and deeper into this rabbit hole of poor management, and you start to build up a lot of organizational debt, right? Similar to how you might have financial debt, where your company can build out organizational debt, because now you're stacking more and more disorganization, a lot of clients having bad experience. And a big reason why people get scared of bringing on funding in-house is because secretly you know that you're missing the systems, and so you think that this might take too much time, and so you never actually do it, and so you spend years running out of, I speak to people that run it out of notebooks, out of paper calendars or Google Docs, Excel sheets, right? But with the system, once you get it the one time, you're set, right? Which is why in Credit Coach Academy, we actually build out the entire system for you within 7 days. Like, imagine having the entire pipeline for automatically onboarding clients, having a client portal that they can log into and monitor, something to track all of your clients all in one spot, right? So we just need a system. You do this one time and you never have to think about it ever again, okay? And then finally, for all the work, this is a big one right here. You probably have a lot going on inside of your business as to why you worry about having to add this to your plate, as far as now I have to actually do the funding for my clients, etc. Well, all of the people that you send out to these outsourcing companies, I bet you that they have hired the exact same people that I would recommend that you do, which are basically virtual assistants, most likely from the Philippines or Latin America, right? The same people that you could be hiring and bringing onto your team, and instead of paying 50% of your income, you know how much they're paying them? They're probably paying them $600 a month. Right? So you just spent $20,000 to send it over to them when you could actually just have spent $600, and you actually control the entire process. You can actually support your clients. You can make sure that the results are good, right? You could have spent $600, but instead you spent $20,000, right? So all we're missing here for all the work is just a team in place. The beautiful thing with funding is that it's actually very systemized. Once you understand how to get someone ready for funding, it's just a checklist. Right? We call it the Cinderella profile, right? The perfect princess, the perfect client that the banks are looking for. So how do we actually do that? Well, once we understand the checklist, we just have to make sure they actually check everything off. Pretty simple. Low utilization, low inquiries, no negative items, right? Again, we're trying to create a smooth pipeline, smooth experience, and once we understand what that kind of looks like and how to check off these boxes, although clients might be a little bit different here and there, all we have to do is just check off the boxes. So we can totally plug in someone to do that process for us, right? And then for the funding, well, if you have the right system in place, we can plug our team into it, and now they can just follow a systemized sequence. When you apply for funding, right, we can have someone do that process as well. If they have the right data points, it's very simple. They just have to guide the client through it, right? So when it comes to hiring the right people, well, all we have to do here is just find the right talent from Philippines or Latin America. We can bring them on for, if you're hiring from the Philippines, this will be someone that might be around 600 to 800 per month. If you're hiring from Latin America, this might be someone that's around 12 to 1600, okay? per month. And so right now, if you're over 10,000 a month income, or at least income potential, if you bring this in-house, like, why would you not want to do this, right? Because let's say, for example, you're trying to save costs by doing it yourself. And so instead of actually hiring this out, now you're doing all the client work, right? Well, all the client work, let's say that you're spending 20 hours a week working with clients. There's 4 weeks in a month, right? So that equates to 80 hours per week. And so you could have hired someone for, let's say, 600 per month to get back all this time, right? So 600 divided by this 80 hours, what is that? That's around, let's see, 800 divided by 80, it's $10 an hour. That's what they pay people in McDonald's nowadays, right? So basically, if you're not willing to spend this kind of money to get your time back, you're basically paying yourself a McDonald's salary, right? That's the job of a business owner, is to now make this income, take the income that we're making, invest it back in the business so we can leverage our time. And eventually, as we do this process over and over again, eventually we're fully removed from fulfillment, we're fully removed from sales, and the business runs on its own. So that's all we're doing right here. For all the work, you can totally systemize the process with someone onboarding your clients, walking them through optimization, creating a funding plan for them, walking them through funding. Again, with the right instructions, you can basically teach anyone to do this process for you. And if you hire in the Philippines, this can be someone that does a lot of the work. If you hire in Latin America, they can actually do a lot of client-facing support as well. And once you put these 3 elements in place, you have now created an entire in-house system. You've created a real business. Your income is not dependent on anyone else anymore. You're not hoping their results stay true. You're not hoping that they shut down the business. You're not also giving away 50% of your income to someone else and secretly remaining an employee to their business. Basically, now you're bringing it in-house and keeping all the income. So if you know that this is what you need to do, you're just a couple different steps away, you know that you might be missing those 3 different elements here, that's exactly what we do inside of Credit Coach Academy. We see over 1,000 different clients a month inside of funding through my network, through my funders inside of Credit Coach Academy, and through my own business. We take all those data points, organize it in a sheet. All you have to do is just click on the bank you want to apply with, and we give you the instructions. When it comes to the system, like I said, we actually build out the entire system for you within 7 days, so you never have to worry about it ever again. And when it comes to your team, we have the entire recruitment process so that you know who to actually bring on. We have the onboarding trainings for them, and we can even help you train them up and manage them. So if you are interested in that and bringing fulfillment in-house, you can click on the link down below. We'll walk you through the entire program and how we can help you do this entire thing within the next 30 days, so you literally double your income by creating this entire process for you. So if you do want that, click on the link down below. But otherwise, I hope this video helps you understand exactly what kind of transition separates the people that think small and limit their income compared to those that actually grow past 50,000 a month. So thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.